There are 8 main weapons in Where Winds Meet, and every single one of them completely changes your playstyle. Choosing the right one is huge, not only so you can have fun while playing and not want to uninstall, but so you don't waste 40 hours dumping your time into the wrong build. After about 10 minutes of playing, you'll meet my favorite guy, the man with the worst haircut in China. He defines your next 40 hours. Most importantly, he defines your first 5 minutes, as he will be giving you 4 weapons. The umbrella, this is a healing weapon. The daggers, an assassin weapon, allows you to soar through the sky like little Einsteins. The glaive, a tank / greatsword style of weapon here. And then an umbrella, think of this as like your bow or ranged weapon in the game, as you have many different ways to shoot the opponent from afar. Now, I highly recommend picking the fan over the other 4 weapons. The reason is simple: this weapon can heal you, and healing is king in this game, especially if you're playing on a harder difficulty. Let's break down why. In Where Winds Meet, you have healing consumables that are gourds. At the beginning you start with 2, and after 80 hours of playing I only have 4, meaning I have basically no healing after playing the game a crap ton. But that's not the worst part. Hands down, the worst part of healing in this game is it's extremely hard to get. Like, you're more likely to find water in the desert than you are to find a healing item in Where Winds Meet. And because of this, the healing fan is almost a necessity if you want to enjoy your playthrough. Now, yes, you can unlock this later. More on that in a sec, but I highly recommend picking it up now just to have ease of access. There is another healing weapon in the game that you can choose to use if the fan isn't your style. It's called the umbrella, baby. This weapon also gives you a heal, giving you some extra self-sustain while out on the battlefield. I personally like the fan more because it has more self-healing by AFK spamming R like this, allowing me to turn into a Rot Priest King, self-sustaining more than my healer could ever heal me in other MMOs. As veteran players, we know how bad healers can be. This time, we get to be our own. Nice. But what happens if I want to change my weapon later? Or if I just want to become a full-fledged healer? Well, you can click a weapon that you want to learn, hit space on it. It will then teleport you to the location on the map. Here, you'll be able to see the icon. It'll kind of tell you how to get it, and you have to do the quest. Most of the quests are just going in sneaky beaky style. Character will turn half invisible, where you have to sneak around a camp, walk around carefully, kill people, assassinate them, and finally learn the weapon at the end of the dungeon. But there's a very important thing to note. While you're doing all this, you'll see 2 things on the left side of your screen. One will be the objective, the other will be chests. Never ever, under any circumstance, leave that dungeon or area without getting all the chests. You will absolutely be pulling your hair out if you miss a chest. Why? Because they can contain these incredibly overpowered passives. Think of this as like adding an extra 1 to 2 skills to your favorite weapon. For example, let's use my favorite weapon. The sword that won't be here on launch day on the west, so shut it here for your boy. A quick moment of silence. But watch my ability. Look how fast it comes out. Basically instantaneously, right? I'm locked in. I got the dog in me. You know, I'm a true ninja. Now watch what happens when I drop my skill or my passive and how slow this ability actually operates. I'll be a nice guy and skip ahead 5 seconds. So here's my weapon skill now. You see how much slower that is? How much clunkier that will make my weapon feel? And there is many passives for each weapon. Each weapon will be given their own unique passive to make their weapons feel more special. For example, if I want to use let's say the longsword here, as you'll notice when I hold my R button down, I only shoot out 1 wave. But if I use this sword passive, now I will shoot out 3 waves. And that's only possible because of this passive right here. So do keep that in mind. These weapon skill passives are incredibly valuable, not only to your character, but to your build, and that's why looting the dungeons are so important. Key note, some of these will require a key, such as the fan, the weapon I'm currently using. This one requires a key. The only way you can acquire the key is by leveling up and doing the main story. I'm not sure exactly when you can acquire this bad boy. It could take anywhere between 3 to 10 hours. I'm not sure. So that's another very important reason to get the fan right away. You do not want to be stuck on a boss because you can't heal yourself and you'll be banging your head against the wall. But what about other weapons? How do I choose my DPS? What if I want a tank or a heal? What do I get? Well, for healer and tanks, it's actually very simple. There's only 2 healing weapons in the entire game, the fan and the umbrella. You'll know because of this icon up here. It'll show a healing. Here are the umbrella skills for a quick look if you are interested. But you don't really have another choice, so lock it in. Next up, we have the tanking skill tree. You'll be able to identify these with the shield icon. You have the greatsword or the glaive, making you into the iron wall, or you can run the spear as another tanking option. Ideally, if you want to tank in dungeons, you run both of these together so you can grab max threat, because I know you're a pure masochist and that's every tank in every game. Let's just keep it 100. But if you want to DPS while soloing the open world doing dungeons, you still have to pick one weapon for sure during story mode and the second one later. I would highly recommend just focusing on your first weapon while leveling, as it makes the game much more simpler and enjoyable. I will give you a few options which I think are the best. One, if you want just to be a pure meta slave, like on your knees, bring out this sword right here, the strategic sword. It's just hands down going to be the meta, no matter how you put it. It's best slot pretty much for PvP and PvE with a few different combos, and because of that, just run it if you want to be the meta goblin. Plus, I think it's actually really fun to play. Next up, you will have the dual-wielding daggers. I think these are amazing as well if you love soaring through the sky like a little Einstein, while feeling like an absolute beast of an assassin. And finally, I would say take out Virgil's sword. This one is really cool. They just straight up copy and pasted Virgil from DMC5 here. You have his little dash there, bleed effect, where you can do extra attacks as well. Or you can hold R and literally do his signature move, I am the storm that is approaching. You can't tell when there's not a cooler weapon in the game. This might be my main on global, I'm not sure yet. It's a beast. Let's break down now weapon leveling and why it's so important to choose your baby before, I would say, max 30. You're kind of pushing it. If you look at this sword right here, my level 80, look how expensive it is to upgrade. 60 books and 15 rocks. I could build an entire house for charity. I'm not going to do that, but I could. But I would rather upgrade my sword. That's how greedy of a goblin I am. You also can upgrade my fan here. $15,000 per upgrade. This is extremely expensive, especially in the early game when you're pushing to higher levels. This could make you go bankrupt extremely fast, forcing you to beg for change on the side of the street, or worse, coming back to our favorite senpai over here and giving him a nice handshake. You can even see from my progression alone, I only have one weapon even close to my level, just due to the fact of how expensive it is to level up multiple weapons. So I'd highly recommend picking your main DPS, picking the healing back bar weapon that you want, ideally the fan, and then after that transitioning into your second DPS weapon later at the end game when you have a better idea what's going on. Then you shouldn't have to worry, because when you go into a dungeon or a raid, bam, you just will have all the material saved up, instant level that up to max, and you're good to go. But while you are leveling up your weapon, there is a quick little cheat sheet I want to show you. If you click on these weapons right here, you can open up a box. Now these boxes are incredibly useful, as without the boxes, you'll be forced to go farm the materials by hand. I'm not a fan of hard labor, so I like opening up boxes. How exactly do we open up boxes? Click this T icon. Head over to the top of your screen here. Here you will see weekly limits. Yes, there is weekly limits. You'll see this on the right side of your screen. I only can buy 15 of this per week. And this is the case for pretty much every item in here. Now, this is extremely important to buy up each week. This is why getting these materials and doing all the quests and leveling you can each week is extremely important to hoard these like Smog the Dragon for later on. You'll see your currency in the top right. Each store does take a different currency, by the way, so do keep that in mind when you're purchasing. You won't always have the same amount of money per store. Overall, pick your weapons early. It's extremely important for the level to match your current level. So ideally for me, my weapons would be 88 each, but they're not because I messed up, and that's the price of playing the game without any YouTube guides. Thank you for watching. If this helped or you enjoyed the video, or you just enjoy watching me financially implode, drop a like and subscribe, and check out this next video, as I'm sure you'll be looking for more tips.